Hello. Today, coming here for another episode of Penny for My Thoughts. Today, I want to come here and I want to talk about prayer. And I pray a lot. I pray every day. I pray all the time. I pray the paint off the walls. And I don't pray a lot just because I'm super religious. It's because I need it. I need guidance. I need God to be my inlet and my outlet. I have a lot of anxiety and a lot of fears, a lot of times for no reason. And I need to talk to God about that at all times. When they say prayer works, prayer works. When I pray, I come to God like with everything, with all my flaws, with all my doubts, with all my fears. I talk to God like a person. I don't hide anything with God. Like, God, this is what I did. This is the sin I sinned. This is my sinful thoughts. This is my sinful mind. This is the sin I feel in my heart. This is what I did. Like, I don't feel like I have to hide anything. I talk to God like a person. Just the comfort of it. Prayer is comforting to me. God don't even have to answer my prayer right then and there. Just the comfort of the prayer is enough for me. Just the comfort. And I feel like anybody could pray. I feel like you don't have to be the scheduled churchgoer to pray. I feel like you don't have to be put together. I feel like you don't have to be the most righteous. I feel like you don't have to be most faith religious, the most, the Bible from the front cover to the back. I don't feel like you have to do. I feel like anybody could pray. Like, God is for anybody. And hell, I even feel like the drug addict or the drunk that's high can pray because they need the most. And I feel like there's a gap between religion and relationship. And like when you think about like entertainers and rappers and singers and the stuff that they do that's deemed secular, or the stuff that they say in their music or the videos they put out or whatever they do, if you listen, a lot of them talk about God. They pray. They talk about it in their interviews. They talk about it in their music. And I'm not saying what they do is right. What they put out there is right. What they say is right. All the, this and that. But they pray. And I feel like sometimes super righteous people or super religious people feel like that's not right. That's like saying, okay, well, you doing this and this and that. How could you say you pray? Why not? God is for everybody. And, a lot of them need it the most. Why not? And I feel like, some people act like God is a vending machine and only their quarter works for access to him. And I just feel like that's not right. And I'm not saying what anybody is doing right. I'm not saying, how anybody feel or their views on it is right. I'm just saying God could be for everybody. I'm just saying that prayer definitely works, however you do it. And I'm the type of person where, I wasn't always a prayer. I wasn't always the person that prayed all the time or even prayed a little bit. Here and there, I would, you know, pray when there was an issue going on or pray when I wake up. But I wasn't always the most prayer like I am now. And I kind of grown into that. I grown into praying a lot, and I grown into just praying for everything because I need God to support me in just everything. In everything, like I said, I will pray the paint off the walls. And there are so many times where I can just list a whole lot of times where prayer literally worked, where God answered our prayer immediately. Now, that don't happen all the time, no. And you know, I'm gonna say that there has been times where I was like, God, can you answer my prayer right now, please? But I had to have, like I said, I had to have comfort in, just a prayer is comfort. Just the prayer is comfort. And there's many a times, like I say, that I have prayed and God answered right then and there. One story I can say is me and my husband, we went out of town. We had our vehicle and our tire popped. Okay, so we called the AAA people. They came and fixed the tire. We're driving, we're driving again. We start back to driving, and probably like an hour later, our other tire popped. Now, mind you, we didn't have a rental car, which we should have did, but this was a last minute trip. So we didn't even have a chance to get a rental car. This is a last minute trip. We used our own vehicle, but our tire popped, and we didn't have any more spare tires. And, we're taking this trip. His brother and their family is ahead of us. So, they're following us. So we're trying to figure out, like, okay, how are we going to do? What are we going to do with this tire? Like, we don't have any more tires. We don't have any more flat tires. We have very big tires. We have a truck. I mean, we can't just get any old fix a tire or whichever. And so I immediately start praying. I'm like, God, we are in the middle of nowhere. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't, there's no, this is on a Sunday in the evening. And I'm like, God, like, we need help right now. 5 minutes later, I look down the street. There is a car place. It was probably like I don't even know what it was. Like maybe like a car dealership, like a used car dealership. And like I mentioned, this is on a Sunday in the evening. There was a number on it. And some just told me, like, you know what, just go see if it's open, even though it's a Sunday, and you either call the number or, just go down there. It was right down the street. So instead of me calling the number, because I was like, okay, this is a car dealership, nobody probably would answer the phone, we tried the vehicle down the street. It was one person in there. One. It was like this guy was just there. And he was like, oh, I could fix the tire. I'm not going to charge you. This man fixed the tire and we were fine and we didn't have no more problems. Prayer. Another instances where prayer came through. Me and my husband, we relocated. And we relocated from one state and we live in Georgia now. We relocated here. We didn't have any jobs. We got all of our savings. We didn't have no jobs. We're trying to move. We're trying to get all our savings and move into a new place and, trying to just get everything we need and the whole move and everything else. And just that. And, we don't have any jobs, so we're spending money yet. We didn't have any jobs yet, so we're spending money. And I'm like, you know what, God, just right now, I don't have, we don't have a job right now. We just moved here. And, we use all of our savings to come here. And I'm like, God, what can I do, to get funds immediately, so just to get us start off. First thing I popped in my mind, delivering food. Now, I would have never thought of like doing things like Uber Eats and DoorDash and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, but God, this is a new place. Like, I don't know, where to go, how to maneuver around. And next thing popped in my mind, well, have your husband go with you. Then you get comfortable. I'm like, all right, God, I did it. My husband with me a couple times. I got comfortable. I developed a whole system. And I did that for 4 months straight without a job, and our bills was paid and everything. My husband, he already had his job, and I did that for 4 months straight, and it was fine. Another instances where prayer has worked. I had an issue, with a person, and I'm upset, and I'm crying about it, and I'm so upset. And God was like, "Look, you got to separate your pain from your anger." Your pain and your anger is tied together. You need to say, hey, I'm sad about this. I'm not actually upset. I'm really sad about it. And it worked. So when I say prayer works, prayer works. It does. And, I know there's a lot of people that don't believe in prayer. And that's fine. Because I don't even feel like, and I don't know, this may ruffle some feathers, but I don't even feel like you have to even believe in prayer to start praying. Because even if you don't believe it, just the prayer alone can lead you into believing in the prayer. Like, why not? Why not? And like I said, you don't have to be the most religious person. You don't have to be the most righteous person. I don't even feel like, there's people that don't even believe in God. I feel like they can pray too. Because in the whole process, it can bring them right into it. In the whole process. I don't look down on people that don't believe. Because who's to say in the process, in the journey, that they can't? Who's to say that? I mean, who's to say that even God even says, oh, well, you don't even believe, you can't even pray to me. Who's to say that? Because in the process, they can get there. But, prayer is comforting, and prayer changes things. And it may not change it right then, but it changes things. To be honest, even though I pray a lot of times I struggle. I'll be like, just like I say, like, God, I wish you would answer my prayer right now. Sometimes I pray when I'm angry. Sometimes I pray when I'm sad. Sometimes I can be mad at God. If we're going to be honest, I'm going to be honest. There are sometimes I've been mad at God and be like, I'm praying through clenched teeth. I'm praying because, like, God, why do I got to deal with this? Why do I got to, but I'm still praying though. Through clenched teeth, I'm praying because I need it. Those are the times where I need it. Those are the times where, you're just so upset and so angry, and you like, I'm mad as I don't know what, but I gotta push through it and I'ma pray. I'm praying. I'm mad praying. I'm I'm sad praying. I'm crying praying. But I've also believed that you don't only pray around those times, because I pray when I'm happy. Anything good, anything small, big, in between, I thank God for and I pray about it. I don't just pray when things are going bad. I don't just pray when, you know, things are going good. I pray all the time. Every in between. Anything, the small, the big, I pray. When things are all going good, I pray. Because, sometimes people, sometimes only pray when things are going bad. And then sometimes some people only pray when things are going good. I pray all the time because it's comforting and it helps me. And like I say, like, I have anxiety, I have to pray I pray like I'm going to war with my anxiety. I pray like I'm going to war with my doubt and my fear. Literally. Literally. You know, me doing this video, I didn't even know what subject I was going to talk about today. And I pray like I usually do. First thing I thought about, let's talk about prayer. Let's talk about prayer. Because I am an average prayer. I am a sinner that prays. I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm a sinner that prays. But for my sinful thoughts and my sinful mind and my sinful actions and my sinful present and my sinful past and whatever sinful thing I may come in the future or whatever you deem it, I pray. And I feel like prayer is for everybody. Whatever creed, whatever color, whatever size, whatever language, whatever. It's comforting. Some people don't have nobody to talk to at all. And, sometimes I kind of feel like that. Like, sometimes I feel like I can be more open when I talk to God and just be raw and real. Now, granted, I've had therapists and things like that, and I could be raw and real with them too. But, they don't see me 24/7. God sees me 24/7. So even before I even come to him and be like, okay, well, he already knows, but I'm not afraid to admit it. I feel like I don't have to sugarcoat. I don't. And, I feel like anybody could do that. I feel like it's just so comforting. And just to know that you can just say whatever your issue is, that you can just even talk to God and be like, you know what, for the people that don't even believe, like, to sit down with God and be like, God, really, I don't even believe in you, but I'm going to pray today. And I don't even feel like that's bad because, like I say, it can lead you in the process. And, I feel like there are a lot of times where, you know, people say they're going to pray for you. And I don't know if they do, if they don't. I have started to not only pray for myself, but also pray for other people because I was like, God, I pray for myself, I pray for my life and stuff like that. But I want to pray for other people too. I want to pray for people that I don't know. I want to pray for my family and more, and my extended family, and, people I don't know, whatever, because this world is just, sometimes I just feel like it's just so much negativity going on all the time, and social media and all this other type of stuff. And it's just, you watch the news, there's negativity going on, and it's just too much. It's just too much. And you just be like, I just pray for the world, and I just pray for people and everything else. And I feel like you don't have to be the most righteous to do it. I feel like you don't have to be the biggest churchgoer, Bible reader, or, know the Bible like the back of your hand. I don't know the Bible like the back of my hand. I really don't. And I have been getting better even with studying the Bible and things like that. But if you ask me to pick out a scripture and to read it off the top of my head, I won't know. You know, I I'm not the biggest churchgoer like every day or this and that. No. And now that we've moved, my home church haven't been to church in a while because my home church is, but you know, I still feel like I have a good relationship with God because I am talking to God at all times. All times. I talk to God at all times. I ask for God's advice. What should I do with this? What should I do with that? And just keeping my prayer life strong at all times because I need it and it works. And it's not, I feel like to me, as much as I've grown with my prayer life, I feel like it's almost like brushing my teeth. Like every day I pray, every day. And not only that, I've even felt like you don't even have to be on your knees to pray. Like you can pray in your mind. You can pray sitting down. You can, pray in the store. You can pray in the shower. I do this. When I say I do this, I do this. And and when I say pray in your mind, I do that a lot because my mind runs so much. And between my anxiety and between my doubts and my fears and the thoughts that's always my intrusive thoughts and everything else, I literally use my mind to pray. Like, I use it as a muscle because I need it, because I got to combat all this stuff that's in my mind and all of this, all the worry and all the everything. If my mind is going to be running to have doubts and running to have worry, then I'm going to have to fight that and pray in my mind too. So if I don't even say anything, I'm praying in my mind because it works and because it helps. It helps me. And I know there's a whole lot of people that it helps. And I know it's a whole lot of people that need the help. And I'm not even saying it from a religious standpoint. I'm saying it from a human standpoint. I'm saying it from a brokenness standpoint when I've been broken many a times. I'm saying it from a standpoint of an actual person, a sinner. I'm saying it from a sinner standpoint that it definitely it helps. It helps so much. And I know that there are people that say, okay, well, it's so much bad going on in some people's lives. How could you even muster the strength to even pray? And I can't really too much answer that question too much, because I can't say that there hasn't been times where I was just like, I'm just so hurt and things are just so bad and everything else. Like, I don't know if I feel like praying right now. It's just so bad. But, you know, I mustered up the strength to do it. And just the comfort of that helped me to like develop like a prayer muscle. I would say I developed a prayer muscle of just saying, even though I'm feeling bad today, even though, I'm going through whatever, going through this or going through that or whatever, like I'm going to pray because I need something. I need something. Me thinking about this stuff right now isn't doing it. Me thinking about, being sad isn't doing it. Me just being sitting in the pain right now isn't doing it. So I'm going to muster up the strength to pray. And I really, it really comforts me. It really comforts me. I know it comforts a lot of people, and I know it's a lot of people that need that comfort. And I'm just here to say that. I'm just here to say how important prayer is to me. I'm here to say that, how important prayer can be for anybody. I'm here to say that prayer can be for anybody. And you don't got to feel bad about it either. You don't have to feel bad because you're a sinner that prays. You don't have to feel bad or, feel like it's not cool or to say that you do. Or you don't even have to say that you do. Just pray. I mean, if you feel like you're not cool in your whatever friend group or whatever, or this and that, because you pray, why you got to tell them? That can be between you and God. You pray, okay? So I feel like prayer is for anybody. Anybody. If you don't even believe in God, you can start praying. If you don't even believe in prayer, and if you just pray one day, and just be like, hey, I'm just going to try it. That's fine too. But you need an outlet and you need an inlet. And like I said, God is my outlet from all the stuff that go into my mind and all the issues that I have, mental and emotional, and my inlet. God is my inlet to pour into me and to pour in the positivity and the motivation and the inspiration and, pour into my faith and everything in between. But what's so funny though? I pray about everything. And sometimes I forget to pray about my food. It's crazy. It's so ironic. I will forget to pray over my food, and I pray about everything else but my food. And not only the food I cook, the food that I'm getting at restaurants and everything else, and other people are making it, and I forget to pray over my food. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, God, maybe I need to start doing that because that's weird. Weird, ironic, but I'm like, why don't I pray over my food? Like, why? I don't know. And I pray over so much different stuff, and I got this joke where I say, I pray so much, it's almost like I'm addicted to prayer. Like when I say I pray over I pray over my finances. Before I even spend any money, sometimes I get paychecks, and before I even spend any money, sometimes be like, look, I'm praying over my finances. I pray over if I'm, doing something creative. Oh God, what you think I should do about this? How should I do this color? How should I whatever? But don't pray over my food. I don't know. But I just wanted to come here today. This is another penny for my thoughts, and today we are talking about prayer. Keep your mental healthy. We're gonna pray and keep our mental healthy. I thank everybody for listening, and this was another penny for my thoughts. See you in the next one.